Hey guys and welcome to today's video, and what is that? Boom, new headset, so I'm upgrading my audio, or my audio quality, and yeah, you may be wondering, why is you on your desktop? Well, there's a few things I got to mention actually on here. As you can see, got these three groups of things here where there's videos. I've actually done this, so you know what, we can get rid of that. Live in the live com, I'm just getting rid of some that I've already uploaded. Just a little teaser of what I am actually uploading here. These two videos, Home Story 1971 and Akinator. You may be also wondering why there's Dota 2 thing here and why this is Final Fantasy Dota 2. Well, if you've read the title, this is what you clicked on. I am trying my best to make my own custom game on Dota 2 based on Final Fantasy because I really like Final Fantasy. I can hardly hear myself with these. I have to adjust to these from this shitty thing. Which I have to keep plugged in. I use the fucking webcam for some reason. But anyway, I have written down all the heroes and all the items. And I'm gonna be uploading this to I think a Google Drive or something where you guys can actually edit it yourself. And you guys can get involved because I want some help to make this custom game mode because this could be like a huge game mode for Dota 2 because it's gonna have like custom items, custom heroes. I might not even keep the Final Fantasy, all together. I might just change it for something else. But if I want to try and keep it Final Fantasy-ish because there's 14 in the game, so there's gonna be a load of characters. We can add them all in. We don't have to necessarily take a position of a normal hero. We can also edit the stats if we need to of an inputted hero. These are all just based on what I think they should be. As you can see here, Kate Sith is Alchemist because just go away. Okay, because Alchemist is like a big giant, I don't know what he is, like a gremlin, goblin sort of thing. I don't know. But he's got like a little person on his back. Just so does Kate Sith. There's the big cat thing, and then there's a little controller who controls the cat on top. So it kind of makes sense. And I think Kate Sith would probably benefit from Grievo's greed sort of stuff, and kind of like Alchemist stats in a way. There's all these hero changes. I want some suggestions. So if you guys do play Final Fantasy and you play Dota, or either way around, if you don't play Final Fantasy but you do play Dota, you can still get involved. And if you don't play Dota, you can still get involved if you like Final Fantasy because I need a lot of people with experience in Final Fantasy because I've only played 1, 2, 7, and 9. I've only completed 7. I've gotten 3 discs in on 9. I know most of the characters in that. You might see some of them mentioned here. Most of these are just mentioned from 7 and 9, so I need people with experience of Final Fantasy, and also people with experience with Dota 2 and editing tools. Jesus Christ, man! Switched Windows 7 Basic then. Okay. So I'm gonna need a lot of people to actually be good with editing tools because I'm not the best. I did do games design in college, fun fact. So I'm not too bad with modelling and coding and stuff like that. But I've got a lot of bright ideas. I'm very creative. And you can probably see some things in here. Some things taken from other game modes, but changed a way, and I've had influence from them. So in the game, in the item description, if the item looks exactly the same as a similar one to another game, we'll put it in the description in the game, influence from so and so, so and so. So all credit goes to everything. If you help me work on this, then credit will go to you. At all times, wherever the description of this game mode on Dota 2 will be, also in this video. But yeah, if you guys want to get involved, you can comment down below. Go to my Twitter or my Facebook, and also I'll have an email down below that you can email me on, which I check regularly. So if you guys can put a subject saying Dota 2 game mode, and then I'll open it and I'll know that's for this. If you don't put a subject, I'm not likely to open it. Unless it's from someone that I don't recognise, and then if I recognise my emails, sometimes I don't open them, sometimes I do, because some of them are just spam. But if I recognise it's a random person, then I might know it's from this video. But yeah, let's move on. So Alchemist Kate Sith. Now Bounty Hunter, I was thinking, because Bounty Hunter is kind of the way he is, his movement and stuff is kind of like Zidane from Final Fantasy 9. And we could also change these if you don't agree, but we're gonna make this a huge plan. We're gonna start a group chat somewhere, maybe on Discord like Baumi is doing. I've kind of took influence from him as well, because he's making his own custom angelry, and it's I thought, wow, I could make my own game mode and get a lot of people to help me. So I gotta give a little shout out to him. Yeah, Bounty Hunter is kind of similar to Zidane in the stance and how he moves around. So thinking we could take his his sort of like movement and influence, what's it called, implement it into Zidane. Sorry. The next one I've got nobody for like half of these people, but Juggernaut I was thinking Zephyroth because Juggernaut is kind of like OP and cool as fuck. And he's got like a longsword, kind of like Zephyroth. I was thinking Juggernaut for Cloud as well, Cloud Strife, because of the Omni Slash. Like he's got a similar sort of like ultimate, because I think ultimate for Cloud will be like his Omni Slash, but I think it's called something else. I honestly can't remember. It's been ages since I played Final Fantasy VII. But yeah, I think Zephyroth would be good as Juggernaut, like stat wise and like movement wise. No, maybe not movement wise, but like the way he uses that his longsword, Juggernaut. I think Zephyroth can benefit from that if we can get the attributes from that. Moving on, we've got the Lone Druid. I don't know who to use as Lone Druid, but I'm thinking of the idea where you summon the Spirit Bear. It can be instead summoning red. I think it's Red 13, Red XII. He's a character in Final Fantasy 7 as well. He's a playable character, but I'm thinking if you can summon him, that'd be pretty awesome. I just don't know who Lone Druid would be, but that'd be cool if you can have like a Final Fantasy, let's say like 13 character summon a Red 13. I keep thinking it's 11, but it's 13. Which would be pretty cool, in my opinion. And then below that is Luna, is Yuffie. Just because of like the weapon Yuffie uses, it's kind of like the glaive thing where, she throws it. So does Luna kind of throws it, and I think she'll benefit from Luna's second ability where it bounces, which would be pretty cool if you can see, Yuffie like using that. That'd be pretty awesome. If I scroll down here, I've got Phantom Lancer as Freya. Now, Freya is from Final Fantasy 9. Kind of uses a similar weapon in a way, and Freya's really quick, and Phantom Lancer can be pretty quick, like with his Phantom Rush and stuff like that. I'm not going to use all of Phantom Lancer's abilities on Freya, but if I can like implement some of the abilities that, not abilities, like movement that Phantom Lancer uses and like attacking motion, Freya can benefit from that. But one of Freya's ultimates needs to be Leap, where I think it's Limit Breaker in the game where I think it's actually a normal move, where Freya leaps in the air and then misses her turn, obviously, and then jumps down and launches and does high damage. If we can implement that into like Dota somehow, that would be awesome. Now I've got no more things for most people here. Obviously, these are kind of the obvious like 2 or 3 here. Sniper is Barret because Barret's got an awesome gun. Sniper's got a gun. Sniper improves attack speed and makes him attack faster. Now, Barret can benefit from that. Barret can benefit from headshot and take aim as well, and maybe even assassinate, because his Limit Breaker, I think it's his first one, where he makes a giant ball and fires it. That can be pretty like cool with Sniper. The only thing that won't work with Sniper and Barret is probably the shrapnel, but we can also just change that. And I'm going to be making custom abilities for all the heroes and like custom icons. And also custom icon for the items. I'm pretty good at making stuff like that, so that'll probably be my side that I'm influencing, putting towards like this whole group project. I'm also going with like a lot of ideas and stuff. Like I'm a really creative person when it comes down to it sometimes. Now this is a really good one, I think, in my opinion. Now Sven and Cloud Strife, man, them two are pretty similar. Like Cloud can probably benefit from Cleave or Great Cleave because they both got big swords, and Cloud is like a fucking boss, so we need him to be like really, really like tanky and awesome. So I think Sven can be probably the best fit for Cloud Strife. Now that's just my opinion, but if you guys got different opinions, comment down below or email me or hit me up on any social medias and we'll chat about it and you can get involved. As I said at the beginning, now Timbersaw and Captain Steiner, you may be wondering like why Timbersaw and Captain Steiner. Now, Captain Steiner is from Final Fantasy 9. He's got a lot of armor and he's pretty tanky. So that's why I'm thinking Timbersaw because of his reactive armor. I think Captain Steiner, I can't remember his first name, but Steiner, I think he would benefit from that reactive armor pretty well and become a bit tanky. I don't know other abilities though. I haven't really thought about any of these heroes apart from Cloud, because Cloud just like one of my favorite. Well, Final Fantasy 7 in general is my favorite Final Fantasy, even though I've only played like the first 3 and 7 and 9. It's the only one I finished, and I put so much time into Final Fantasy 7. It just became really like useful to me. Not useful to me. Well, it's kind of useful for me for now. Useful wasn't the word. It became like a part of my childhood. And moving on to the last one here, we've got Zeus as Vivi. Now, only because Zeus is like, he's like Vivi. He's like what's it called? A mage. I'd say a mage. Vivi's kind of a mage. He's very like magic. What's it called? High magic. Like he's a high magic character. Instead of like attacking otherwise, he just uses magic mainly. And I think Zeus is like very heavy magic user. So I think them two would like be good for like swapping. Like Vivi would benefit from Zeus's passive, where he shocks every time he attacks. Now, if you can change that and be like, you can change the element, say like Invoker's spells, where instead of electricity it can be fire or wind or water and stuff like that. If you can change that, then that'll be pretty cool. Now, here's the item changes, slash improvements, and there's new items at the bottom, and I'm going to go through most of them that I have changed and like some ideas, so you guys can actually, get to know more about this. There will also be a copy of this on like a Google Drive or somewhere, or if you guys want a copy of this, then I will send you it and you can actually edit yourself and then send it back, and that's basically you getting involved then, really. If anybody has an idea, I will use that. If I use that idea, then you will get credit for it as well. So okay, I'm not going to just scroll down here because I want to just show you this little bit here. So if there's a change for an item, the original item will still exist, but we'll have an equivalent item with a different purpose. That's kind of an idea I thought of one of the first times on the list. Also, if there's an improvement to the item, you will need the original first in order to improve it. So like obviously an upgraded version. And you will notice the changes. Well, the code in here is I for an improvement and C for a change. And obviously I've got every item in alphabetical order, so the first one I thought of straight away was an ether lens, and this is a change I was thinking we could have like an anti-lens, where it's like the opposite of an ether lens. So the ether lens gives you like, I think it's additional spell cast range, so I was thinking if we make an anti-booster and then a ring of health and put them together, so we can have like an anti-booster which will like make anti-items. That would be probably the best way to put it. An anti-booster or like an anti-orb or something. Maybe change that to an orb. So that is how you make an anti-lens. It's just basically, instead of a boost, a blue boost, I can't remember, energy booster and a ring of health, it'd be an anti-booster and a ring of health. You'll still get the benefits of the health regen and mana, but instead of you getting a cast range, you will give out an aura. As you can see, the anti-lens is an aura-based item which lowers all the cast range, lowers the cast range of nearby enemies. So instead of you gaining cast range, you will be like reducing the cast range of other heroes. I think that's a really cool item. I haven't seen anything like that before, so that'd be pretty awesome if someone could actually make that anyway. I'll be able to make all the images and stuff and all the descriptions like really cool, stuff like that, and all. I'll make like a big tree diagram if I can of like how to make stuff. Like with new items and stuff like that. Just whack my hand on that then, whoops. Moving down here, we've got the Blink Dagger, which I've improved, and then the Boots of Speed. So the Blink Dagger is probably the easiest thing to improve. Now there's one change I'm doing, so the blink distance is 1200. I was thinking we'll reduce that to 800, and then we'll have like up to a Mega Blink, which is like 4 levels higher. So description here, teleport to a desired destination within the range allowed. This does not stack with other forms of blink, so if like you have 2 blinks, that will make a blink dagger 2 anyway, but say if you have like the blink boots and a blink dagger, it will add on to the distance. You can only use one at a time. It doesn't share the the cooldown with the blink boots, so you can use the blink boots and then a blink dagger to get further ahead. I think that's a pretty cool idea, to be fair, but that's just me. Now we've got 3 improvements here. Blink 2 is just a blink dagger and a blink dagger, and it doubles the blink distance to 1600, so that's just a bit more than normal blink would be in game, which is 1200. So that'd be worth the money of like upgrading it. I don't know how gold per second and all that and how many towers and blah 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 in game just yet. So there'll be a lot of balancing issues straight away. Obviously everyone has balancing issues. This is just like a brief idea. We can always change everything before we actually get out a beta or an alpha. There's also going to be Blink 3, which is 2 Blink Dagger 2s, and the Blink Dagger for that is 3,200. Now that's quite a lot of money because a Blink Dagger costs around 2,000, so a Blink Dagger 2 will cost about 4,000, and then Blink 3 is like 8,000. For 8,000 gold, you can have 3,200 Blink distance, which is quite crazy. But here's where the Mega Blink comes in. Now it's a Blink Dagger 3, plus a Mega Orb, which is going to be mentioned down below, further in this, not in the description, but that'll make the blink distance global. Now, I don't know how much a Mega Orb will cost, I can't remember, I'll work it out as I go down, but that's 8,000 gold plus something to have TP everywhere, and the blink cooldown is like 5 or 6 seconds, so every 6 seconds you can blink anywhere on the map. That will make that'll probably have a lot of balancing issues, but I might have every time you blink, you lose like a 1 stat for like 2 seconds or something like that. Or just like a little way of balancing it, so you can blink everywhere, but every time you blink, you might get reduced damage or something. or reduce your armor by 1 every time you blink. So like if you have 5 armor and you blink, then you go down to 4 armor. Until the cooldown resets for the blink, you go back up to 5, and then you can blink somewhere. But then if that happens, if you do that, then we might have to make the blink cooldown a bit longer. So like you blink 15 seconds for a cooldown, but then you use that 1 armor, make you more vulnerable in battle, but you'll have more like movement. What's it called, for getting into battles basically. As I say, this is all a work in progress. Now, this is the Boots of Speed upgrade, or the improvement. So it's called Blink Boots. I think I've seen this in Epic Boss Fight, which is awesome. So that's probably going to get credit for this. So the normal Boots of Speed, I think, has 45 movement speed. So the Blink Boots, we're going to have the movement speed is plus 80, and the blink distance is going to be 1,000, because you're paying for the blink and the boots. So you're going to get like a little improvement in movement speed, which I might reduce that anyway from 80 to like 50 or something. I get plus 5 more than boots would. But then you're paying that 2,000 just for getting plus 5 movement speed. But you're getting a blink distance of 1,000. So you're upgrading the blink distance by 200. But that's just an idea. We can also have like blink boots 2 and stuff like that. But yeah, as I say, work in progress. As you see here, I've also put Aegis and Jesus droppable. I think droppable's got 2 Ps. Whoops. Because they're only droppable by Roshan. I don't think we're going to use Roshan. We're going to use like a custom boss. I haven't mentioned it in here. I will edit in after this video, like bosses. I want to have Barmut. Barmut as a boss. That dragon is amazing. That would be an amazing boss. We can also do other bosses. But I want to use some bosses as heroes. Like, I've used Zephyroth as a hero, even though he's a boss in the game. But the fact that he's just really good as like a character anyway, a playable character, he would be awesome. But yeah, suggest that below if you guys want to have Sephiroth as a hero or a boss. We can work on it. And yeah, moving on to the cloak here. Now I was thinking of an invisibility cloak, which would be cool, kind of like in Harry Potter. It's basically the cloak and the shadow amulet. The description I've put here is a cloak that allows invisibility. The cloak is big enough for as many heroes to join us, so everyone can get inside you. But here's the balance bit. They will enter, but unable to leave, unless the host stops using it and then becomes visible, and everyone gets spread out. Everyone will leave. Or the cloak runs out. I think I might have a cooldown. I'm not sure about that yet, but I might have like a 30-second duration, which would be pretty OP, but balanced as well, I think. Maybe we'll reduce it. But the balance here is, if the host dies, that's using the cloak with everybody in it, everyone dies. That's what I might be thinking. But also, the invisibility cloak can be seen by any ward, and while you're in that and you get seen, you take 150% damage. So it's kind of a bit of a balance there. It's kind of like, yes, you can use it to make like invisibility, like with 5 people inside you, to go anywhere, but any ward can see you and you take more damage, which is kind of the balance. That's kind of the downside. And if you die, then everyone inside you dies. It's kind of like Arcane Symbiosis from, I know it's in Legend of Dota Redux, but I can't remember what it's originally from, but yeah, it's kind of like that, which is pretty cool, I think. Now, the Divine Rapier I've changed slightly, and I think I'm going to have like a Divine Rapier 2. I'm changing the damage from plus 330 damage to 150 damage, and the cost from 6,200 to 4,000, so it kind of costs more for less damage, so it kind of makes it a bit less OP and like a go-to item, because I think if you still have the Rapier as normal would in this, with all these items in it, I still think it's going to be pretty OP. So if I reduce the damage and increase the price, so like, I've put like just under half damage, so half damage would be 165, and half would cost 3,100. We've reduced the damage by 15 and increased the price by 900, so it's kind of balancing it out in a way, and I might make like a Mega Rapier or something. But yeah, moving on to the Echo Saber. Now this is a pretty cool idea for an Echo Saber, I believe. So it's the ultimate Echo Saber. We can have like an Echo Saber 2 or like 3 or something, but this is just an idea. It's an Echo Saber plus an ultimate orb plus a recipe. In the description, it allows you to attack up to 4 times consecutively. So when you use it normally, you can attack twice and then a cooldown, attack twice, a cooldown. But with this one, you have a 100% chance to attack twice, which is pretty standard. A 75% chance to attack 3 times, so I did a bit of balance there. And then a 50% chance to attack 4 times, so you're not guaranteed to attack 4 times. But with a 50% chance, that's like, a 1 in 2 chance. It's just an idea. That's can be a work in progress as well. These are all just ideas, so let's keep moving on. Now, the Force Staff. I thought of some cool ideas for the Force Staff. Now, the first item here is a Dragon Force. That's a cool name to begin with anyway. It's basically a Dragon Lance and a Force Staff. But the description is, you target a hero, you force them away, but then you push towards them as well. So it's kind of like, good if you can get on the other side of them and push them towards your tower, but instead of pushing them away and then you having to go to them, you just go to them as well. So you're still in the battle, but you can also use this anywhere pretty much, because I've thought of the idea where it grants you invincibility for 3 seconds. Now, you may be thinking 3 seconds is quite a long time, but technically it's really not. Or I might reduce it to 2 seconds. Who knows, work in progress. But this will be like a game changer in like some fights. It's a good way to get like distance on your opponent, so you can get, send them away from like a team battle, but you're still attacking them, or you can get them out of a lane, stuff like that. But it's going to cost quite a lot though for a Dragonlance and a Force Staff, and then maybe a recipe in, to just add a bit of price on to get a bit more balance. And I'm also thinking of the Force Staff too, which is basically just a Force Staff plus a Force Staff. It just doubles the stats in a way, or just improves them a little bit. But you can only use the Force Staff 2 to make a Hurricane Force, because you can upgrade the Dragonlance to a Hurricane Pike. So I'm thinking you can upgrade the Force Staff to another Force Staff 2 and then upgrade it with the Hurricane Pike. It's going to cost quite a lot, but it's even better than before. It's same as before, but the invincibility is increased to 5 seconds. Also, the range increases, so you force them away further and you go further. Obviously, I was thinking of kind of like making an item like this. Until I made this, thought of this idea. I was thinking you force them away slightly, like a little bit. So like this is an enemy, and this is you. So you force them away, but then you go through them and do damage, and you're on the other side of them then. But with the force you're hitting, it does quite a bit of damage, and then you're attacking them for the other side. It's kind of like Spirit Breaker's Greater Bash in a way, where he hits you, and then he just like teleports to the other side and bashes you again. Which is quite annoying. But if I could make that into an item, as the idea, that would be pretty cool. Jesus Christ, this video is 22 minutes long already, man. But no editing on this whatsoever. I'm going straight to each point. Here's the Hyperstone. The Hyperstone I love in Epic Boss Fight. They've changed it a lot and they've added so much upgrades to that. So this is kind of hugely influenced from that in a way. So the Hyperstone, I'm reducing the attack speed from 55 to 20. And then I'm making a Mega Stone, which is a Hyperstone and a Moon Shard, which will give you an attack speed of 100. And then I might make more after that. That is not consumable as well because there's a Moon Shard involved. But there's also a Moon Shard upgrade, which I think is the next thing anyway. So yeah, the Moon Shard, I'm reducing the attack speed from 120 to 60 and consumed from 60 to 40 because I want to make a Sun Shard. Now, there is a Moon Shard. Why not a Sun Shard? Now, Sun Shard would be awesome. This is what I thought with a Sun Shard. I've just said shard about 20 million times. But the Sun Shard is basically Moon Shard's attack speed plus a radiance because the sun's really hot and that emits heat. Obviously, a radiance emits heat. That would be pretty cool if you can have that. So when you have it on you have a Sun Shard on you which offers attack speed and burn damage. That can be consumable, but it offers less burn damage and less attack speed, but it frees up a slot. I think I put in the description right there. Look, offers attack speed and the radiance damage aura. However, when consumed, will offer these attributes but at a lower rate, but you will free up an inventory slot. So there's kind of a bit of balance there, reducing it and keeping it powerful at the same time. I think that's pretty much everything I've mentioned. If I've mentioned like something like here, like Moon Shard and a Radiance, I'm not going to mention it in like here, like Radiance plus Moon Shard. That's kind of just stupid in a way. But there's also, here's the Ultimate Orb. I think this is the last one. So the Ultimate Orb, I'm reducing the price from 2,100 to 1,000, less than half. Plus 10 stats, I'm reducing to plus 5 stats if I can. And then I'm making Ultimate Orb 2, 3, and then a Mega Orb, which is just, the Mega Orb is going to be like for all the Mega items, because I'm going to improve like literally every item in the game. And maybe like every item might get a Mega upgrade somehow, which would be pretty cool, and it'll create a lot more depth in the game of like every item. So instead of like Sanjin Yasha, a Mega Sanjin Yasha, but you have to use a Mega Orb, and that Mega Orb is going to be quite like expensive, and it's going to be quite powerful though, so there might be a bit of balance issues, there. The improvement of the first one, Ultimate Orb 2, is basically just an Ultimate Orb plus an Ultimate Orb, and that gives you plus 10 stats, so that's just a normal Ultimate Orb. It costs less than what a normal in Dota game would, so it's 2,000 instead of 2,100. But then the Ultimate Orb 3 is an Ultimate Orb 2 plus another Ultimate Orb 2, and that gives you more than double the stats. I might be thinking of putting a recipe along that as well, because you're getting plus 5 more stats, but that's kind of like putting the money in for that. If you're going to rush that, then you're not rushing any of the the other decent items. There's so much you can rush for, but they all cost quite a lot, so it's going to keep the game flowing, hopefully. So the Mega Orb is basically just, doubling up again. So Ultimate Orb 3 plus Ultimate Orb 3. So if you work this out, look, normal one is 1000, the next one is 2000, then 4000, then 8000 plus a recipe for plus 100 stats. And the Mega Orb can go into pretty much loads of other stuff. So I might make like a Mega Hyperstone, Mega Sun Shard, Mega Moon Shard. Simple stuff like maybe like a Mega Vladimir's Offering. And stuff like that. Maybe I might make like a recipe which makes whatever item you combine with it into a what's it called, consumable. I think that would be crazy if you can make everything a consumable. And activate like every time you battle, and then have like a 10-second cooldown. So say like you have a maybe not every item, maybe not like Helm of the Dominator and like kind of minor stuff you have to use on a creep or another hero. I mean like stuff like blade mail. If you like have a consumable blade mail, every time you get into a battle and someone hits you, maybe after like a certain amount of health you lose, then you'll activate a blade mail and it'll help you in a battle so much and like keep you going in that battle. You'd be more what's the word? Where you can just keep getting hit and keep going. Whatever that word is, I can't remember. Someone's going to tell me, I think, or someone's going to say it in the video. I'm going to remember it after, or I'll remember it later. But it keeps you going in the battle. But then it'll have like a cooldown. But if I can make everything consumable, that would be pretty cool. But make like the consumable recipe like something stupid, like 150,000 gold, or like 100 gold. No, not 100 gold. Like 10k gold or something daft like that. That would be crazy. I think that's pretty much all the items here. There's the new items here, obviously the anti-booster and the Mega Orb. They will get descriptions down there. And that's pretty much it, guys. I'm going to mention. I'm just going to put this in right now. Look, bosses. Bahamut. I want the Bahamut dragon. I think that's how you spell it. Bahamut. There might even be like an N there or something. Bahamut. That looks right. But if you guys enjoyed that, remember to leave a like if you did, and subscribe if you're new around here. Get involved with this. Go hit me up on social media in the description. Comment down below anything, or make a video response so you can be like, reacting to my video and then be like, that's a good idea, blah blah blah. I will put my effort to watch it and see what you guys' opinions are, because I want to really make a really good Dota 2 game mode that just takes every game mode like by storm and makes them all look really bad. Obviously there are some really good ones like epic boss fight. I don't think anything could top that in its own genre. That's like the top of its own thing. If you make another epic boss fight, it's not going to be as good as that one. But then you can't compare other game modes. You can't compare like epic boss fight with like Pudge Wars, because they're two completely different things. But there are similar things like Legends of Dota and Dota Rimba. They're kind of similar because they're normal Dota map and they're just improved items and stuff. This is kind of similar to Comics Heroes Wars, which is awesome as well. So I'm kind of getting influence from that as well, because I've played that quite a lot. Mainly use Deadpool, and that uses like loads of comic heroes. So I didn't want to like copy like, that do the whole like range of stuff. So I've stuck to Final Fantasy. We can also like implement like other stuff if you want. Like we can do like retro games, Station 1 times, like do Final Fantasy 7 and 9 and below, like Tekken heroes and people from retro games like Street Fighter heroes. All suggestions in the description are like. I will really like appreciate them. So we don't have to. All these items are just going to stick no matter what the actual genre is. So we don't even have to make this as Final Fantasy. The Final Fantasy is just the idea. Mainly the items are what I want to go with. We can also, if you guys want to like think of any other heroes, that would be pretty cool. Hero like equivalents. So instead of like, let's see, where's Phoenix? Here's what I'm going to surprise you with. What if we did that as a hero? Spyro the Dragon, for goodness sake, that would be so cool. So we don't even have to keep this as Final Fantasy, so you guys can comment down below any suggestions. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of the video. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. The way I see it is, YouTube has changed since then with subbocks and stuff, and now they've included little bell button which notifies you when that person or that content creator has actually put a video out. So you can always go ahead and just click that bell and you'll get notified pretty much every time. I haven't